The New Generation Fund, 10 years later, I've been asked, why did we even start the New Generation Fund and what is the value of it to our partners?
The NGF Fund was important because it helped us acquire properties to provide more affordable housing. In 2008, it was at the height of the economic downturn, and it was hard to find financing. And so with this new funding source, we were able to acquire a site and set up and cover our pre-development costs that is now home to 107 homeless and low-income residents.
And we started the fund because we really needed some resources with higher loan-to-value that were more nimble, that would meet the needs of developers that were building housing that people could afford. And what we learned is they had some capital tools, but they didn't really have the ones they need. And we know that the greatest success comes when there's public-private partnerships.
Since the launch of the New Generation Fund in 2008, we've been able to invest $152 million into 27 affordable housing or supportive housing projects. That's going to net 2,300 units of affordable housing, as well as saving over 315 units that otherwise would have potentially converted into market rate. That's significant because as we're not only building, we're also trying to preserve every single unit that we have on the street.
You know, there are certain issues in our cities, in our states, that really are best solved by a combination of public work and private work. And affordable housing is simply one of them. We think the private sector is really able to assess risk, to be able to put out capital in an expeditious manner, and to manage risk over the long term. I think the public sector is really capable of guiding policy, making sure that their residents and constituents are taken care of. And together, over the years, we've been able to work with the City of Los Angeles very effectively in putting together programs, working on programs to make sure that large parts of the population are served in terms of affordable housing.
Without the New Generation Fund, we would not be able to do what we're able to do, and that is getting people off the street. There are thousands of homeless people on the streets, and we want them housed. And by giving us the flexibility to use this fund to acquire a site, do larger developments, we can help more people get a home.
When I got that key and I opened the door and this space was mine, I was grateful. After not having a place to stay in, just walking in made me feel like I could breathe again.
And we have been creative in the past year to revamp the fund to do more around preservation of affordable housing. Many Angelenos are threatened and worried about their housing. People are being evicted and displaced in neighborhoods that they've lived in for decades. And we want to use this tool to acquire sites that are unsubsidized and not protected to maintain that affordability. I really applaud the City of Los Angeles, the banks, the foundations that entrusted us in this endeavor. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. And I can proudly say that in 10 years, we've seen nothing but success, and we want to see that for 10 years more.